friendly confines of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium, where tonight the Senators will go to work against another foe from Sectional 62. Senators are looking to bounce back after a tough trip down Highway 60 on Tuesday night as they fell hard on the road at Borden to Doc Nash's Braves. Meanwhile, the Crothersville Tigers come to town with a blistering red-hot 12-4 record, 3-0 in the Southern Athletic Conference, and also as a dark horse coming up for Sectional 62 at Edinburgh. Tonight it's the Senators and the Tigers set to do battle, and your countdown to the tip, brought to you by John Jones GM City, starts now. Hello again, everyone. I'm Misty Jones, and joining me in just a moment for tonight's broadcast of Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220 will be my sidekick, my broadcast partner, Senator Football Zone, Coach Mark Gibson. Well, for Coach Smith and his ball club, as I said, Tuesday night's loss to Doc Nash's Braves served as a reminder just how tough it can, in fact, be to beat the Braves, especially on their home floor after that disappointing loss in overtime in December in the holiday tourney by 1. And on the and-1 opportunity of Nolenberg, it was the Senators who tried a remix version on Tuesday night, but fell short despite jumping out to a 10-4 advantage. After the first quarter of play, the Senators went stagnant and cold offensively in the second and third periods, combining for just 8 points in those 2 quarters combined. Doc Nash's defense put the clamps down, and the Senators, unfortunately, after a 9-0 run, fell behind, and the Braves never looked back. And for the Senator offense, of course, things seemed to be a little bit rattled in that second, third quarter, not just because of the low scoring, but most of that due in part, personally speaking, I believe it was due to the fact that we had 2 of our key contributors offensively and defensively off the floor with foul trouble. Holden battled foul trouble most of the night at the point guard spot, saw limited minutes, and Harrison Sanford also battled some early foul trouble as well for Coach Smith's ball club. And inevitably, when the Senators were trying to come back from down as many, I believe at one point as 15 or 16 there in the ball game in the second half in a low possession game against a Doc Nash team, that's just a recipe for disaster and something that you just very rarely dig yourself out of. So as I welcome in my colleague and broadcast partner, Coach Gibson, Coach, it would appear that this Senator team continues to be the victim of a few different things in particular. Number one, a low volume of free throws. They only got to the line 12 times at Borden on Tuesday night. Some really costly foul trouble as well, like I said, with both Harrison and with Holden out in that second quarter and third quarter. We suffered offensively. And then it just seemed like, not only the foul trouble, not only, the not getting to the stripe, but the untimely turnovers. We had opportunities to kind of dig ourselves back into that game. It seemed like every time they either come up with a big play on the offensive end, or they'd come up with a stop defensively or force us into a turnover. So, Coach, what do the Senators need to do to kind of get the ball rolling again, correct some of those mistakes from Tuesday night?
It's funny that you mentioned 3 of those things that you just talked about I have on my note card. It's funny. Foul trouble, big question mark. Yeah, Holden and Harrison, they have to stay out of foul trouble. You're talking about 2 of the top 3 leading scorers on the team basically going into that game Tuesday, and they sit on the bench for basically half the game. So first and foremost, we've got to play smarter, and that's can't commit the silly fouls. And going to another one of your points, we have to value our possessions a little bit more, especially in that type of game where Doc wanted to keep it down into the 40s at the highest. That's the type of game he wants. Well, I did some number crunching myself. In the games that we've scored below 50 points, we're 1-7. In games 50 or above, we're 6-4. So that something tells me. That tells me I think we want to play a little bit faster. I think these kids want to play a little bit faster. When they have to slow it down a little bit, I think they get a little bit nervous, look a little bit herky-jerky, and that's where those silly turnovers come.
I agree. And on the other hand, as we said, Coach Kilgore brings in a Crothersville team with a red-hot 12-4 record. They've been playing some really good basketball of late. Perhaps their best start in school history with that 12-4 mark, and this is a group that, as always, likes to get up and down the floor. A fast-paced style is what Coach Kilgore typically likes out of his group, and they have a really nice 1-2 punch on the outside-inside combination of Josh Thomas, a 6'1 sophomore, and Dylan Wilson, a 6'5 post player. That's the biggest post player we've probably seen, is just as far as overall size. He's going to be a handful for our bigs tonight. You'll hear Coach Smith talk about that in our conversation this evening. So, Coach, when you look at this Crothersville lineup, again, a nice inside-out duo on the defensive end, where does it start for them this evening?
Well, I mean, for us, obviously, I think we got to make Wilson make some moves. I think he's I was watching him in warm-ups, and he definitely likes to go to his left a little bit. He was sitting outside. He likes to shoot some stuff, some outside, but he doesn't seem to be as proficient out there. So maybe if we can get him off the block a little bit, that would be beneficial for the Senators. Like you said, these guys play pretty up-tempo. They're averaging, 60, maybe 60 points, 63 something points a game. So they like to get up and down. So, I think the easy buckets, we're going to have, it goes back to your point. If we turn the ball over and let them get easy buckets, layups off a live ball turnovers, we're going to be in trouble because they definitely can shoot. I remember watching the Thomas boy in the sectional, I think it was last year, as a freshman, and he was lighting it up. So, yeah, he can hurt us, so we're going to be up to find him. There's been some times this year where we've lost some shooters and they've made us pay in close games. So we're going to have to be able to find him and try and get Wilson off the block.
As always, we want to take a little time out here during our John Jones GM City countdown to the tip on our Senator Tip-Off pregame show to thank, of course, you, the fans, for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220. Of course, we also want to thank the sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator Basketball possible. Those sponsors include our pregame sponsor tonight, John Jones GM City, as well as Eddie Gilstrap Motors bringing you the halftime report. And then tonight, our postgame brought to you, as always, by Ace Hardware of Salem. Also, a big shout out to Marie Lowry and her crew at McDonald's on South Main Street, which is also home to Coach's Corner each week. Walmart of Salem, Salem Crossing, Meadowview Healthcare, and Brady Bishop with Channel Seed. We're going to take our first break of the night, and as always, here a 60-second word from the Indiana High School Athletic Association. When we come back, we'll be joined by Senator head coach Sean Smith to get his thoughts on Tuesday night's loss at Borden and looking ahead to tonight's preview matchup with the Crothersville Tigers. Tonight, you're listening to Senator Basketball on Salem's 1220. We'll be back with more right after this.
Before the big plays, before the magical moments, before all that discipline, dedication, and teamwork finally pays off, comes your support. The IHSAA Foundation is dedicated to protecting, sustaining, and nurturing education-based athletics in Indiana. Its work will ensure IHSAA members, schools, and coaches receive the support they need so that Indiana student-athletes receive the opportunity they deserve. Learn more at ihsaafoundation.org.
Welcome back as we continue on with more of this edition of our John Jones GM City Countdown to the Tip here on our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, as we're joined now, as always, by Senator head coach Mr. Sean Smith. His team coming off of a tough 40-33 loss on the road to Borden on Tuesday night. And as we said in the postgame, Coach, just a night where a couple guys battled some foul trouble early, and it was tough for them to really get anything going. And, in a low possession game, you knew every possession was going to be extremely valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about that before the game, and those games are good for us. That's the way the tournament inevitably ends up being played. If you want to advance in a tournament, you have to be able to win low possession games most of the time, and it just seems like when you get into the sectional, everybody becomes a lot more conservative, and you have to be able to execute. And I thought we executed real well at the very beginning of the game and did exactly what we wanted to do. We got a lead. We talked about how important that was, but unfortunately, things shifted, and we just couldn't hang on to it, and didn't play real well down the stretch.
Coach, one area of the game that we didn't really talk about in the postgame on Tuesday night was Noah Franklin's play for Borden. In that first game, it seemed like Nolenberg, of course, he came up with the big play late, and we know what McNew can do, but Franklin really kind of turned it on, and it just seems like it's a trend that, for whatever reason, we always seem to trigger the best out of Doc's point guards.
Well, Franklin was able to get, some baskets out of transition and off broken plays and things like that. He's really quick, and In the half court, we did a good job. We just kind of sagged off of him, but he was able to, make some plays and, step up. As a senior, he stepped up and made plays and helped his team find a way to win. So, yeah, you got to give him credit. And he was able to get to the line, and he made his free throws, and just one of those nights where he played really well. So give him credit.
And again, to his credit, and as you said, a lot of that coming off of hustle points or, just seemed like timely baskets for him. And again, 7 of his 15 come from the free throw line. So, you come out of this game, you lose by 7. The boys, I'm sure, a lot to learn from that ball game. But again, just a short time to take what you learn and apply it, because now you look forward to this Crothersville team coming in tonight. Coach Kilgore seems to have a group that's clicking, and they're coming in with a 12-4 record.
Yeah. I mean, this time of year, there's not a lot of time to really sit around and stew about things and worry about it. I mean, we have 5 games coming up in 12 days here, so we're you just got to turn your attention to the next game and focus on the next game. And Crothersville has a nice team. They've been playing really hard. They've got some athletes. They got the Thomas kid can he's pretty skilled and can shoot it. And then the Wilson kid inside is a really big human being. I mean, he's a big dude. He's like probably 6'5", 315, 320. I mean, he's going to be massive out there compared to any kids we throw at him. So. And then on top of it, he's not just big. I mean, he's skilled. He has good hands. He keeps the ball high. He can finish around the basket, and he can even step out and knock down threes. And hopefully, we can keep him maybe where he's out on the perimeter as much as possible, because it's going to be tough pushing him away from the basket if he gets down there and low. He's just so massive compared to our kids. So. Those 2 in particular, but they have other kids that are playing in between them that step up and can make plays too. So they have a really nice team and having a really solid year over there at Crothersville.
And of course, with that size in the post with the Wilson kid, they're probably going to want to pound the rock into him as often as possible. But Coach, when you look at this team, it's a team that's averaging right now just under 63 points, I believe, per game offensively. So much like Crothersville teams in the past of Coach Kilgore's, I'm sure they're going to like to get up and down and get out on the break as much as possible.
Oh, they play the same way. I mean, they've always played. They're going to throw multiple pressing looks at you. You're going to see 2-2-1, 2-1-2, diamond, press, man press. They're traps. I mean, they try to play up tempo with Wilson on the floor. When he's not on the floor, they really do. But when he's on the floor, I mean, he'll get back to protect at the back end of the press, and the other 4 guys are going to be scrapping and hustling and trying to kind of create a helter-skelter environment. But they do have that option now where they can, when they need a basket, they can try to pump it inside of the big guy. That's the difference. He's the difference compared to any of their past teams. They haven't really had a true big man, but they've got a big lad in there now.
So defensively, Coach, you talk about this Wilson kid and, of course, them liking to get out and run. So transition defense will be big for you. But in the half court, do we see a mix from your guys tonight? Is this a chance for you to work on some zone stuff and try to pack it in and make it tough for them to get a post entry to Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, I think we could throw some zone at him. We got to be aware where Thomas is at. And the big thing is whatever we do, we've got to find a way to put a body on Wilson and go fight him for the boards. I mean, if it comes, the thing is his lateral movement, maybe he's not going to be able to go get the ball, but if it comes to him, if it comes off at him, he's probably going to come up with it. I mean, he's just a big guy. So, we got to box everybody else off and go scrap for those boards. But we'll definitely look at a couple different things probably. At the same time, Crothersville's a sectional opponent, so we may not show them everything, but we'll see kind of how the game goes, and we want to make, we may look to run more because that probably helps us with Wilson by making him get up and down the court. He doesn't, he needs to come out every 4 or 5 minutes and take a breather, and when he does, we need to take advantage of that. But I mean, he's a big guy, and they've got some shooters and players around him, so it's a tough matchup.
And Coach, you just touched on the fact, of course, Crothersville being in sectional 62 along with us, and as we roll down to the final couple of weeks of the regular season, how much of a strain does that put on you as far as what you want to use within a ball game and what you try to hold back a little bit just in case?
Well, again, I think we'll kind of come out and do our basic thing, and then see how the game goes and see what adjustments we might be able to make with what we have available. We're going to certainly play to win the game, but certainly at the same time, we don't want to have to show everything we can potentially do if we don't have to. So we'll just have to see how the game plays out.
And of course, a big night for your bigs ahead, as you've talked about several times with the Wilson kids. So definitely a night where Jake, Nick, Harrison, and even a guy like Gavin coming off the bench possibly will have to be on their A game.
Absolutely. Those guys will have to be ready to step up and play, and we're going to have to do a good job of, pressuring the ball in the perimeter and not allowing them to just be comfortable to throw the ball inside and have good help side D. And, it's going to be an interesting opponent. We haven't played against somebody that, outside of Scholes. I mean, Scholes had a big guy. We haven't played against somebody that has a big man, I guess, to this stature. Mm-hmm. That I can recall offhand. I mean, the Dearborn kid at Crawford's pretty good size, but this kid a lot bigger than him. So just overall size. So it's going to be an interesting game for us.
Coach, you played a little shorthanded again, yet again. Seems like that's been a storyline quite a bit this year with Cam out. He had the ear infection on Tuesday. Talk to us about the health of the team entering tonight's matchup and what your lineup will look like.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cam's just had an unlucky year. I mean, he's missed 5 games for illness or concussion, and he played a couple games where he came back from the concussion where I definitely feel like he probably wasn't anywhere near his best or ready to play, but he gave it his best and tried to help out, and just been down on his luck this year with that and health, and our team has been one of those years. I can't recall ever having a year like this where we've had so many guys. It seems like we're missing somebody every game, and so it's been tough. But at the same time, different guys have been able to get opportunities and get some development in. And we're going to go with the lineup that we had against Borden the other night. I thought Caden Abels played really well, and that group got off to a really good start. And so we're going to take a look at that lineup tonight with Bousman, Green, and Abels at the guards, and then Sanford and Mars at the forwards. But definitely look to play 8 or 9 guys tonight, I'm sure.
Well, Coach, we wish you all the best in this matchup with a possible sectional 62 opponent with Crothersville, like I said, coming to town with that 12-4 record. And again, wish you all the best and appreciate the time as always. Look forward to talking to you after the ball game.
I look forward to talking to you too. Thank you.
Coach Sean Smith joins us here on our countdown to the tip, brought to you by John Jones GM City. We'll have more of our pregame in a moment. You're listening to Senator Basketball tonight on Salem's 1220.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
For the final time here at the Ron Smith Court as we continue our countdown to the tip. Just about that time before we step aside for the national anthem, so let's quickly bring you the keys to victory tonight, brought to you by John Jones GM City. First and foremost, we talked about it, post denial, our ability to bring doubles to the Wilson kid. He's big and he's strong. Got to have a good post presence tonight, and it's got to be on point. Composed tempo. Crothersville's going to try to frenzy the pace. Got to play under control. Got to play poised, especially with our guards. And the third, I think it's Holden. If Holden stays out of foul trouble, he can come out there and kind of dictate some of the guard play, kind kind of control the floor and what goes on out there defensively and offensively. I think that's another one of our big keys tonight. Those are your John Jones GM City keys to victory. John Jones, a proud sponsor of our pregame all season long here on Salem's 1220. Call them at 1-800-I-SELL-GM, 1-800-473-5546. Check them out at johnjonesautogroup.com, or better yet, stop by their beautiful showroom and lot at 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem. John Jones, GM City. You see so many because they pay so little. We've run down everything we possibly can to get you ready for tonight's tip between the Tigers and the Senators. So we'll step aside for the final time. When we come back, we'll run down tonight's starting lineups and bring you the opening tip. Again, our lineups will be brought to you by John Jones GM City. We'll hear from them, and we'll come back for those lineups in just a moment. Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium. We're ready to bring you tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by John Jones GM City. Check them out at 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem. Again, John Jones GM City. You see so many because they pay so little. Before they have the starting lineups, Coach Philip Bousman, athletic director here at the school, they lowered the lights and put the spotlight on Greg Barton, one of the three officials tonight in this three-man crew from the IHSAA. Greg Barton, over 40 years of officiating, so tonight is his final game, and glad to have him here in the friendly confines for that final one of a long, great career in officiating here in Southern Indiana. Tonight's starters, first for the Crothersville Tigers, 12-4 overall, 3-0 in the Southern Athletic Conference. Their last outing was a win on Tuesday night, 81-69 against South Decatur at home. Coach Greg Kilgore is the coach. Greg is 45-85 in his sixth season. He'll start a three-guard set. 24, Josh Thomas, 6'1" and a sophomore. He'll start 14 points per game and 7.5 rebounds. He'll be joined by 12, Zane Elliott, 6 foot and a senior at 2 points, 4 rebounds per contest. 22, Lane Weinhorst. He will start at the other guard. 6'2" and a junior, 9 points, 3 rebounds per game. Up front, 34, Alex Van Kutren, 5'11" and a senior, averages 2 points, 3 rebounds per game. And the big man in the middle, 6'5", Dylan Wilson. He's a senior. He averages 16 a game to lead the team and 7 rebounds per contest. Meanwhile, for the Senators and Coach Sean Smith, Senators 7-11 on the year. Their last outing, that 40-33 loss on Tuesday night down at Borden to Doc Nash's Braves. Sean Smith, 59-38 in his fourth season. Overall, 144 and 127 in his 12th season total in coaching, of course, many years spent at Charlestown in the MSC before his stop here in the Bird. He will start the same set as you heard him say that he did down at Borden. 22, Holden Bousman, a 6-foot freshman, starts at the point, 8 points, 2.5 rebounds per game. He's joined in the backcourt by number 4, Cade Nables, a 5'7" junior at 3.2 points per contest. The third guard in the trio in the backcourt will be number 12, Parker Green, a 6-foot freshman at 6.8 points and nearly 4 rebounds per contest. And up front on the blocks, it'll be 24, Harrison Sanford, and 34, Nick Mars. Sanford, 6'2" and a sophomore at 6.5 points, 4.5 boards per game. Mars, the 6'3 senior, at 9.5 points per game to lead the team and 4.3 rebounds per contest for Coach Sean Smith. The series of the last 30 years has been dominated by the Senators. 29 games, won to only 5 lost. Coach Sean Smith is 5-0 while he has been here in Campbellsburg against the Tigers. Their average margin of victory over those 5 games, 28.4. They have owned the Tigers since Coach Smith has come to town. Their last meeting over at Crothersville, a 77-47 win for the Senators. Noah Green led the way with 19. Peyton Walker chipped in 15 in the win. Tonight's Indiana High School Athletic Association officials are Mr. Greg Barton. Again, his final game of his illustrious 40-year career coming to a close here tonight. He'll be joined by Jeff Jackson and Gerald Scott. Senators in the home white threads trimmed in blue and red, blue letters and numerals. Crothersville, meanwhile, in the red away uniforms, rather, trimmed in white and black with white letters and numerals. Gerald Scott to throw it up in the center circle. Josh Thomas, the 6'1 sophomore, to jump it up with 6'3 senior Nick Mars. And Mars is going to control the tip in the backcourt to Parker Green, and away we go from the Ron Smith court. Again, Misty Jones, glad to have you along here tonight, joined by Mark Gibson. Craig Akers running the live stream video feed, and right out of the gate, Mars with a big jumper, and the Senators get the start they need, Coach.
Yeah, that was a nice start. They kind of packed it in. They didn't really think Nick was going to shoot it, but he took it right 2 dribbles to the foul line. Nice little jump shot, and that's a good start for the Senators.
So 2-0 here
Nick's
early.
really working against the big boy.
Nick trying to make it very tough down low. Senators jump out to the quick lead, half minute in. And Crothersville very content to throw it around the perimeter, more of a 4-out, 1-in with Wilson now in the high post, picked up by Mars. Senators open with a little man-to-man defense and a nice dribble drive take by 22, Lane Weinhurst. And he's got his first 2 of the night. Crothersville on the board. We're tied up at 2 apiece. 1 minute gone by, opening act.
Yeah, Caden got caught just a little bit behind him, so he took it to the rim. We're going to have to do a little bit better job of helping off if they're going to keep the dribble drive going.
Again, Senators operating with a little bit different lineup, the one they had on Tuesday night, because Zink was out with the ear infection. Zink is dressed and on the bench tonight. Quickly into the paint. Parker Green's got his first 2 of the night. Senators jump back out in front at 4-2. Minute and a half gone by in the first quarter of play.
We're running our guards through the lane, and then the guy that's out front just they're going right at Wilson, basically.
Dribble drive take on the left side will result in our first foul of the night for either ball club. Gerald Scott with the call. It's going to be on Caden Abels, his first of the night. Again, game's first, so team's first, obviously, as it will be 2 free throws upcoming. And it will be Zane Elliott, the 6' senior, to the foul line, and the first one is up and good. Elliott's a 62% free throw shooter on the year, Coach.
Yeah, at times we've struggled keeping athletic point guards out of the lane. So I don't know. I mean, obviously we don't want to help off at Thomas, so we're going to have to pick our poison a little bit. But that's twice they've gotten right to the bucket.
Elliott's second one, rims in and out, no good. Holden controls it, brings it into the front court. As Crothersville has also opened up in a little nickel set, a little man-to-man. And going off the dribble against the big man Wilson was Mars. Couldn't get the runner to go off glass, and quickly the Tigers push into the front court. Josh Thomas with it. He'll kick it cross court. The big man Wilson steps out trying to show his range, and Holden's got his second defensive board of the night. He'll quickly push in transition, looks to give it up to Abels, and does. Left side as he brings it back center court. Hesitation dribble now off to Mars on the right wing. Look for a little banana cut, little flex cut. And they don't find Harrison, but instead it's Mars who gets into the high post, pulls up for the mid-range jumper. He's got 4 on the night, and 6-2, Senators in front.
Almost identical the very first possession. Just 1-2. He started out at the top of the key, just a couple dribbles. He's looking, like you said, for those guards cutting through. Wilson was laying off, so he took the 15-footer, put it in.
Senators back to work defensively. We'll see Logan Brewer, a 6'1 junior, check in. He averages 15 a game, normally a starter, did not get the call tonight. And another dribble drive left side on the baseline by Elliott will result in another Senator foul. Not very good job cutting off dribble penetration or helping either on the dribble drive, resulting in Senator foul number 2. Cam Zink, the 6' senior for West Washington, will check in. as that was the first foul of the night on Nick Mars. And substitutions come in. Again, Brewer, the 6'1 junior at 15 a game. Holden will get a quick breather out of the gate. So they'll roll with Zink and Parker in the backcourt with Abels. Still with Harrison and Mars up front. First free throw up and good. Second one good as well. So Elliott starts the night 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Make it now a 6-5 score. 5:15 and counting now in this first quarter. A little run and jump trap out front. Almost look like a hybrid 1-3-1 extended, coach. 3 minutes gone by.
Yeah, it looks like they were just kind of probing around a little bit. It wasn't like jumping and trapping or anything, just making us throw it around a little bit. Use a little bit of clock.
Pass to the wing right side, goes to Abels, now back to Zink left side. Bang! Got it to go. Big shot for the senior, Cam Zink. That's good if we can get him kind of off the slump that he's been on here offensively as he fires 3 right out the gate off the bench.
He's had such bad luck with sickness and an injury and stuff. It's tough to get going for him, so it's nice to see he came out. Because when he's confident, man, he can really stroke. I mean, he can really put it in. It's nice to see that right off the bat because Coach Smith talked about it in pregame and last game too. He's had such bad luck with being sick, concussion, then being sick again. So, yeah, that was nice.
Crothersville turns it over. Their first one and our game's first turnover of the night. 4:28 to go. We'll reset across the way as it was Thomas who poked it out of bounds. So Parker will be the trigger man to reset a little 3-man stack. They easily get it into the backcourt. And Abel's now walking across. He'll be picked up by Elliott at the top of the key. Off to Zink, right side. He'll dribble now back center of the floor, survey the damage, and go back to the right side, this time to Harrison Sanford. Off the little banana cut, off the high post to the block. Can't get anybody, and Harrison loses the handle, puts it on the floor, double dribble. Senator's first giveaway of the night.
Yeah, that was, he got caught in the lane. That's happened to him several times. I mean, nice little move, but then he's looking for somebody to cut, but then nobody was kind of helping him out there, so he was leaning, got an extra dribble in there. Officials saw it. But, yeah, we're going to have to kind of pick our poison with these guys. Are we going to let them keep dribble driving, or are we going to make them be jump shooters?
Coach Kilgore trying to go to a little 2-man stack at the high post and a little quick set, a little screen action for the post. Couldn't get anything out of it. Shot looked like it may have been partially blocked, but apparently not as it goes off the side or the back of the support there on the backboard off
might
the
have
phone.
got fortunate on that. It almost looked like Caden might have picked up his second one, but
Weinhorst shot no good. So with 3:43 and counting, Senators have it back in control. 9-5 your score. They lead it by 4. Holden sends it across, takes a spill to the floor. They feed now into the post, and a nice take left side. Harrison couldn't get it. Goes back up though with his own miss. Nice work on the offensive boards, following his shot, going right back up after it. Harrison's got his first 2 of the night, and it's 11-5, largest lead for the Senators here early.
and Parker. We said it last game, Coach Smith is not shying away from putting Parker Green on their best player.
Absolutely, as he's been able to blanket Josh Thomas, that sophomore sharpshooter for the Tigers, and Wilson tries to drop step to the middle, loses the handle. Second turnover into the other end. We'll have a Crothersville foul, their first of the night, with 2:58 to play. Nice collapse on the big inside, though.
Yeah, and I think they read the scouting report. It said he drop stepped to his right shoulder, but then turned back to his left. Scouting report said he's much more comfortable going back to his left. They did a nice job, like you said, collapsing in on him, getting the steal.
Big foul there as 2:58 to go. Josh Thomas, sophomore sharpshooter, well, I thought he was going to check out. He had the foul whistled against him in transition. And now it'll be a full timeout for Coach Kilgore, as there was some communication problems on the exchange and on the substitution. So it's a full timeout, I believe, by Coach Kilgore. He'll take a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 2:58 to go, first quarter. Senators ahead, 11-5 here early at home. We'll come back with more first quarter action right after this.
At Meadowview
Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about MediView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Confusion cleared up now for the Tigers, as it was Noah Hoskins, a 5'9" senior, checking in at 3.5 per game, as he gives Winehurst a breather here with just over 2.5 to play. First quarter. Zink left corner. This shot will not go from downtown. Thomas pulls the board strong. He'll lead the break 3-on-1. They leave it off for Hoskins, and he finishes off the window for his first 2 of the night off the bench. And it's 11-7 now with 2.5 to go. Again, a little extended 1-3-1 pressure. And it'll be a timeout for Coach Smith, as he's going to talk to his senior, Cam Zink. And it'll be, I believe, a 30-second timeout. It indeed will be a 30, so we'll step aside. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification, our first one of the night. You're listening to the Senators take on Crothersville here on Salem's 1220.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Busy 24 to 36 hours here for West Washington, not only hosting this boys game tonight, but tomorrow the host site for regional action for the girls, Regional 16 here in Class 1A. 2 great games on tap, as out of the break, Holden misses a layup going in amongst the trees. Wilson there, just enough to cause him to maybe shake it a little bit, a little too much, a little bit of a little just up and under, a little scoop. Yep, just enough to cause, just to throw him off his path just a little bit, but to the other end, Wilson turns it over with the travel. 3rd turnover of the night, and the Senators will go to their little spread look with about 2 minutes to go here. First quarter, Parker will hold it out front. He'll be picked up by Hoskins, and we'll have a quick whistle and a foul. Barton with the call, and this one will go against Hoskins as they come out to apply pressure. Applied the forearm, and that's 2 personals apiece. Hoskins has 1, Thomas has 1 for the Tigers. They'll throw it to Zink in the backcourt, and he'll walk it across and be met by Elliott.
Spent a lot of time this quarter penetrating right at Wilson. Looks like we're trying to get him in a little foul trouble, but he's been really good at not slapping at the ball.
Mars takes the deep 3 against him, and to the other end, that's going to result in a quick dribble drive tape as Brewer able to get his first points of the night off the bench. Again, he averages 15, normally a starter. For whatever reason, though, not tonight. 1.5 to go, and they've cut it to 2 at 11-9. By the way, Coach Clayton Sullivan's JV wins at 45-41 in thrilling fashion tonight, moving the JV record to 12-6 overall. 75 seconds to play in this first quarter. Senators being patient, a little dribble weave, and now Harrison takes it himself. Nice dribble drive take against Brewer. And Harrison has his second basket of the period, making it now 13-9 with a minute to go here in this opening quarter of play from the Ron Smith court.
That's been our best offense, just a little back-to-back cuts through the lane, then weaving through.
Nice job of Nick getting around fronting and knocking it away before Wilson could gather it in the post. Turnover number 4 and on the skip. Zink saves it, throws it back to Green. Now back to Holden, 3. Couldn't get it to go, and Wilson there to fight for it with Hoskins. Hoskins takes it off the defensive glass, and Elliott pushes in transition. Crosses over against Holden, now tries to go up and under, and we'll have our first foul of the night on Holden. Jeff Jackson with the call. And for Holden again, his first team foul number 3 with 31.3 on the clock. And it looks like we're probably going to see Cade Nadles come back into spelling. They're wanting to pick up another silly one in a half minute or so of play. Holden will get his second breather of the night. First free throw missed. And one more upcoming. So Elliott already shooting free throws 5 and 6 tonight. Second one is up and good. So on the night, 4 of 6 total, makes it 13-10, half minute to play. Senators will look to hold for one. Now again, more of a diamond press or a 1-3-1 look extended. As they get it in the front court, Abels will dribble it out of trouble, and we go under 20 seconds to play in the opening
we
period.
take the last shot. We've said that many times this year. We've asked that question.
Parker Green has it out top, goes high post now to Mars. He'll dribble drive against Wilson, and I think they're probably going to get Elliott on the help
12.
side dig.
They're getting 12.
They will indeed, and that's Elliott's first team foul number 3 with 5.2. Senators will have it. They'll see the double stack here, or actually a little spread stack action all the way up the lane. They'll get it into Zink. He'll turn on Brewer. Can't get anything, so he frees it up to Abels. 3, couldn't get it to go at the buzzer, so we'll end the first quarter of play with the Senators out in front, 13-10 after the first stop here in the friendly confines. We'll come back with second quarter action right after this. You're listening to Senator Basketball Tonight on Salem's 1220.
Gymnasium for tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup, and the crowd is on their feet and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the quarter pounders coming in tonight alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sidelines, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Senators go to work defensively to open up second quarter of play as Crothersville has it in the half court. Only 20 seconds gone by, and Nick doing his best to front Wilson, and in doing so, he can't come over to help. And a quick basket for Josh Thomas, his first basket of the night. And it's now a 13-12 ball game. Just over a half minute gone by. Gavin Smith, the 6'2 sophomore, checked in for his first minutes of the night for Coach Smith.
Parker got caught watching the ball game there, and his man, he did a great job on him in the first quarter, but back cut on him, and he didn't see him.
Gavin Smith with a little bit of a force against Brewer in the low block. And at the 7:10 mark, we'll have our first foul of the quarter on Crothersville. That'll be their fourth. And this one will go against Logan Brewer, the 6'1 junior. And to the free throw line will be Gavin Smith on the year, 12 of 19 for 63%. First one's up and good. Gavin off the bench, averaging nearly 3.5 points per game for Coach Smith, and 2 rebounds as well. Second one on the way is good. So good stroke from the stripe for Gavin. He's got his first 2 of the night. It's 15-12.
Gavin's pretty talented. It's on this end that he really needs to work and make sure he doesn't lose focus.
Yeah. Thomas looking in the post. They can't get it into Wilson. Again, Nick being very physical and aggressive, doing his best to front.
I mean, you have to.
Backside help.
Like I said, 6'5", every bit of 300 pounds, 310.
The only thing you can do is make him try to throw over the top and hope you got someone swarming and digging from the backside to help. And hope that he brings it down if he does catch off the lob. Brewer, turnaround jumper in the paint. It won't go. Nice defensive rebound for Smitty. And he leaves it off for Caden Abels, rather. And he'll bring it into the front court, leave it off now for Zink. Zink to Mars, left side, now high post to Green. He tried to feed down low to Smith. Second turnover of the night, first of the quarter. Hoskins to the other end, he'll be fouled by Green. That'll be Parker's first team foul, number 4, and Crothersville right back to the free throw line. They've already had 6 attempts, all from Elliott. First time we've seen a fresh face at the foul stripe for the Tigers, as this will be Noah Hoskins going to the free throw line. He's just a 57% shooter on the year.
Sometimes you get caught and that was a force. Parker, he's under control so much that it surprises you when he makes a bad decision like that. But that was a force.
First free throw is up and good for Hoskins, giving 3 on the night. It's now 15-13. Parker will get a well-deserved breather. Holden will come back in. He's got 1 personal, so they'll trade freshman for freshman, and Coach Smith continues to teach his young pups on the bench. Harrison over there as well. And second free throw up and good also for Hoskins, so giving 4. Crothersville pretty sharp from the free throw line, 6 of 8 thus far.
Gavin
and it's
turns
15-14.
Turns it over.
Third turnover of the night for the Senators. And Elliott gets into the paint. Kicks it out to Hoskins. He'll slow things up as they try to go backdoor. It's Abels with Wilson, and that's too easy. 5-7 against 6-5. And Wilson's got his first two of the night. Good recognition on the cross-court lob. And the Senators trying to break pressure. Had numbers. Holden tried to throw over the top, and that's going to draw the displeasure of Papa Bear as he's to our immediate left.
We talked about in the beginning about value possessions, make smart decisions. Possession 4, Gavin makes a lazy inbounds pass. That time we could have had numbers there. Holden makes it a little soft pass there too. You got to want to win games, especially as a young team. You got to do things right.
Abels comes and gets it back from Zink. A little 1-4 high set. They'll run a guard cut through. They've got Zink in the high post. Back to Holden. Now to Abels. 3-ball. Right side. Off the mark. No good. Big rebound for Wilson. Been pretty quiet on the boards thus far. Nice hands by Nick Marsden. Great hustle play. And it's going to go to the Senators as Nick raced down to poke that one away. And it will be turnover number 5 of the half for Crothersville. Elliott will check out. Winehurst back in.
Yeah, that was all hustle. That was a nice play. And something we needed. We're struggling a little bit here.
So again, a little diamond pressure here. They get it into Gavin Smith, who shoots it cross court to Mars. Back to Smith. Nice pump fake. They got Wilson in the air. Strong take left side, and Smitty's got 2 more. His first field goal of the night. So Gavin with 4 off the bench, and it's 17-16. Underneath. Thought we had a clean block, or at least Gavin was convinced of it. It'll be his first personal of the night, team foul 5. Parker Green to check in on the dead ball.
Got to stay on your feet. Thomas did a nice job, got in the lane, pump faked, got a guy off his feet, and then made a nice little bounce pass.
First free throw up and good for Brewer. So this team continues their hot shooting. Again, they were 4 of 6 in the first quarter, 3 for 3 in this period alone, and Brewer will have 1 more. He's got 3 already off the bench. He averages 15 a game for Coach Kilgore, and he's got both of them.
Yeah, free throw line is keeping them in this ball game.
They have their first lead of the night at 18-17 off of those free throws. And Mars misses a wild one. And to the other end, that's going to lead to a layup, but partially blocked. Winehurst had it blocked by Holden. And Holden and Parker now will control it in the backcourt and walk it up across the timeline. 4.5 to play. And Nick controls it against Wilson. He gets into the high post and now backs it out of trouble. Again, the Crothersville faithful, a pretty good following tonight for them on the long road trip. And Gavin feeds down on the block to Mars. He'll turn around, little baseline fadeaway jumper will go. Soft touch for Mars. He's got 6. Senators back out in front at 19-18. Second lead change. We've had 1 tie. And it is Thomas will come back to the other end and be picked up by Green. A feed inside. Wilson had it poked away by Smith. Give Gavin credit for the steal on the poke away. And a dangerous pass for Parker as he turns it over trying to feed to Holden, and then Holden steals it right back. So 3 straight turnovers, 2 for Crothersville, 1 for West Washington. And Coach Smith says, let's chill out a little bit. Let's settle this train down. 3.5 to play before the half. Holden has it out front. They'll go their 3-up set. The little guard weave out front. Gavin and Nick on the baseline, short corner. Abels has it now, top of the key, 3:20 and counting, gets into the paint, leaves it off for Mars. He'll pump fake, go in strong, little swinging hook, has it partially blocked by Wilson. He'll throw a baseball pass ahead to Hoskins, and he's got his second field goal tonight, give him 6. Crothersville back out in front, third lead change of the night. It's 20-19. Crothersville leading it by 1, again coming in with that 12-4 record. It's a full timeout for Coach Smith to end the game, and he's pretty fired up about his team's lazy effort in breaking the press and in getting back. 3:06 to play. We'll come back right after this.
Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Mediview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Back out of the timeout for Coach Smith, very animated in that timeout. He ripped into his guys a little bit, and deservedly so. Got a little sloppy, a little careless. That's led to 2 very quick 1-point leads for Crothersville, enjoying one now at 20-19 and into the paint. Missing the layup, having it partially blocked, was Mikey Nichols, fresh into the game, a 5'10 junior. Also in for his first minutes of the night, 6'4 freshman, Jake Strange in the post. 2.5 to play. Nice feed from Nichols to Abels. He tries to leave it off underneath for Smith, and it'll be a Crothersville foul, and that might be 2 on Josh Thomas. If so, that'll bring Elliott off the bench. It is his second, team foul number 5. And so it'll be Elliott that checks back in, senior for sophomore. 2:31 to play. Nichols to inbound. Nichols out there with Gavin Smith, Jake Strange, Caden Abels, and with Holden Bousman, a rare lineup. Not used to seeing this combination of 5, and then trying to throw it in. Nichols throws it away.
Twice we've turned it over on inbounds plays. That's just not being very smart.
And
not
I got
valuing basketball.
And it's going to be Abels that checks out, although it was Nichols who turned it over on the pass, errantly into the bench of Crothersville. Under 2.5 to play. Fairly low scoring first half, 20-19. Crothersville again enjoying their second lead of the night. They've led by 1 on 2 different occasions. Senators have led by as many as 6 in this first half. Wild pass from Brewer over to Wilson, cross court. And they're going to say last touch maybe by Holden. And I think Gerald Scott botched that call. He definitely did. They slung that ball like a rocket cross court wraparound pass, and now Coach Smith will chew on Greg Barton's ear a little bit. Yowza. So saved possession, and then Crothersville throws it away anyway, so turnabout's fair play into the other end. Gavin Smith off glass, gets fouled, late whistle, and Hoskins will pick up his second. Coach Smith getting after Smitty, saying, hey, one more dribble, get to the rim, get your and one. Kind of took an awkward layup.
Kind of what we talked about earlier in the season about Jake not setting his feet. Yeah, he could have went strong, power dribble or something, jump stop, went up, same situation, but a better chance of getting an and one.
Hoskins' second personal is team foul number 6 for the Tigers. 2:06 to play. Harrison will come in for the shooter. Gavin Smith knows that's going to draw a conversation with the Senator coaching staff. He missed the first free throw, second one is up, and it rattles in and out, so maybe he missed both to buy himself a little bit of breathing room from the staff. As Crothersville nearly turns it over, they get it underneath the Brewer, and he finishes easily off the glass. He's got 6 off the bench. 22-19, largest lead of the night for the Tigers at 3. You see Parker Green and Harrison both check in. Underneath, Gavin had a shot blocked by Wilson, and off to the races, Winehurst with it. Gets it to the top of the key. High post. They'll lead it off on the baseline. Brewer couldn't get it to go. Ball was poked away from Wilson. Nice effort. And that's one thing, you know, he talked about Gavin, and everybody's got things they can improve on. Gavin Smith's body language right now, not very good. Just shaking his head, very frustrated frustration setting in. But that's one thing. It's early in the game. You can't lose your mind over a couple of silly things.
We've talked about it before. I mean, basketball is not a game of perfection. Well, we've heard Coach Smith talk about that. There's going to be mistakes. You're going to miss shots. You just got to shake it off and keep playing.
Isn't that what drives every high school, junior high, and elementary and college coach crazy?
Yes.
Elliott with it out top. Little run and jump trap. Lays it off for Hoskins. His three short. Holden with yet another defensive rebound as he skied for that one near the free throw line on the long rebound and underneath. Nice feed. Holden to Jake, and we're going to get a foul from behind, and this is going to be Wilson's first. If they, in fact, call it on Wilson from behind with the block, they do. And that's also team foul number 7, so the Senators finally into the bonus, but only 68 seconds to play before the half.
Yeah, we've been stuck on 19 forever. At the quarter break, it was 13-10. This is one of those quarters where we just can't, and it seems like second quarter's been a struggle all year.
How about this, though? The improved free throw shooting for old Flathead, Jake Strange. That's not my nickname for him. That's Coach Myers and Coach Sullivan's nickname for him. Let me clarify that. Strange just 49% on the year, but knocks them both down. Played well in the JV contest as well. Brings the Senators to within one at 22-21. 64 seconds and counting, first half. Elliott trying to go high post to Brewer. Instead, screen down and bring a guy to the wing and then feed it down low. And a nice basket underneath again for Brewer. And he's got 8, so we're already halfway to his season average, 24-21. Back to a three-point edge. Again, their largest of the half. Senators, again, leading by as many as 6. Now playing from behind, out front. Zink, Green, and Bousman. Under 30 seconds to go. Green now gets into the paint. Strong take. Little one-hand floater will go. And Parker's got 4 now in the half. Make it 24-23. 15 seconds to play underneath, wide open. Wilson with a layup as we lost him again. He's got 4 all in this quarter. Under 10 to go. Holden's going to have to chuck ahead. They get it to Harrison, to Zink, back to Holden. He'll stop, pop, hold, one-hand runner as time expires to the free throw line. Holden has his first basket of the night as time expires, and he'll make it 26-25 here at the half. Crothersville going to the locker room with a 1-point advantage. We're going to step aside, take a break, start figuring some numbers, and I'm going to loosen up the old shoulder for Chuckaduck, see if I can't walk away with 25 more smackers here tonight from the Ron Smith court. We'll come back to begin our Eddie Gilstrap Motors Senator halftime report after this word from a couple of our sponsors.
Police, I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy, and he knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer? Nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel Seedsmanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel Seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
Coach, I'm going to leave halftime to you because I got to go shoot a half-court shot for some big money.
Oh, here we go. All right, Coach Jones going for the half-court shot.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be a UK shot.
Halftime here. Ron Smith court. Lydia Manchin getting on the radio with us.
I got the radio.
You on?
Oh, you
How
really
we doing?
can hear
What do
me.
we think of the game so far?
I think we need to play defense.
Need to play defense. Yeah, we're struggling with the transition D, aren't we? And we have to do make sure we score as well. We're getting what's going on? Oh, well, we saved Misty Jones' shot for the end of halftime. We're going to let the tension mount here.
I think that's her cheering section on the other side.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Coach Jones steps to the half-court line. Montana going to give her the ball. Oh, she's ready. What do you think? Does she get it there or no?
I think it's good.
It's good? Okay.
It's going to be good. She's going to hit this one.
I think it's going to be in and out.
Or she's going to airball it.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, a little short, a little right. Oh, boy. That looks like a Kentucky Wildcat shot.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that what that
was?
was?
That's a Kentucky shot right there.
Oh, no.
Oh, and now the crowd is chanting at her.
We have the airball chant. Oh, man, that was tough. Just a little short, just a little right.
I just want you to know that we've lost all control of this situation here. All control.
26-25, Crothersville Tigers with the 1-point lead. This has been back and forth the entire night. A little quick stat here just before MJ gives you some scoring. Senators 9 of 17 for 53% inside the arc, 1 of 5 for 20 for first half total of 46%. For the Tigers, they shot 9 of 11 for 82% inside the arc. They did a lot of dribble drive, a lot of penetration. We're going to have to fix that in the second half. They went 0 for 2 from behind the arc, but 69% total. So they were very efficient in the first half. So, and also they were 8 of 10 for 80% from the line. So, and that's another byproduct of the dribble drive that they're doing. We're going to have to do a better job of keeping the guards in front of us because they're either getting easy layups or they're going to the line. Through the first half, they're actually out-rebounding the Senators 9-7. And I said that has been something that the Senators do a fantastic job of the entire year. Only out of 18 games, the Senators have only been out-rebounded 4 times. Salem twice, actually peaking out-rebounded us, and North Harrison. Only 4 times out of 18 games have the Senators been out-rebounded, so they need to go to work on the boards. Dylan Wilson, the big boy in the middle for the Tigers, has 3 boards and 3 blocks, so he's definitely having an effect. But like I said, Tigers leading the rebounding edge 9-7. So if we want to keep that impressive streak alive on the rebounding margin, we're going to have to get to work on the boards. Everything's pretty even. But again, the biggest thing I saw, not a lot of turnovers, but the biggest thing I saw was we got to do a little bit better job of keeping the guards in front.
And right now they are announcing some of our Special Olympics ball players. They've played, I believe, at Salem at halftime or in between the ball games at Salem already once this year. Montana Wilson in the house. Giving me the choke sign out there a while ago.
Was not right.
Before the half-court shot, John Combs and some others from the area that we all know very well here tonight. on hand for Special Olympics, a great cause and a very great group of people out there on the floor right now having a blast tonight. You know, I'm a little disappointed, though, because a lot of our elementary student base, you know, down there on the west side of the gym, and I started getting the air ball.
You know
almost
what I would do
bluebirds
if I were
from
you?
them.
I'd make up a big tub of cookies, just kind of act like you're taking them into their room, and then just turn and walk out. Get them all excited. They'd be like, you brought us cookies, and then just kind of turn and slowly fade to black. Sorry, that's for the air ball chant.
I mean, that's pretty brutal to get the whole air ball thing, and it wasn't a couple of them. It was like once it started, it spread as a wave.
It was no bueno at all.
I thought it looked good, just a little right of center,
You're a little
just
short,
a little
right.
short. But you know that's not really fair to try to adjust from throwing a duck that maybe weighs 2 grams to throwing a basketball half court.
Yeah,
you know,
it was. I think this was probably.
I gotta get back in the gym, Coach.
Everything was rigged against you. I think.
Yes, this is a bad night. I had Montana out there giving me the choke sign, and the kids, you know, giving me the business. But nonetheless, Special Olympics, like I said, on the floor right now, an outstanding group, and they're being announced to the and introduced to the crowd right now. So glad to have them and the director, the person that's over this group tonight here with them on hand and speaking and addressing the crowd. 3 minutes to go. The clock stopped now, waiting on the teams. A little extended halftime recognition here tonight for some people, and a busy halftime, kind of a wacky one too. I'm scared to death that Lydia Manship took the headset and was on the air for quite some time.
She was nothing but the professional.
Except for whenever I shot, and she may have very well started the chant, the air ball chant.
No, she actually said, I asked, what do you think? Is this in or out before you shot it? She said, no, this is going in.
Really?
Yeah, I might have shown that one because I said this is basically going to be the Holden Bowsman.
You gave me the broadcaster's jinx?
She did. She said it was in. I said it. Nah, this is probably going to rim out. No. The Holden Bowsman in and out. But no, she did a fine job. Although I did. You may want to kick me off here. So after that, I said that did look like a wildcat shot. So.
Oh, Coach.
I know. I should not say that when the Hoosiers are playing. They could be down by 20 right now, for all I know. So.
I tell you what, you know, this is not the first time this week I've not been cut to the quick, just straight to the bone. This is another one.
And you spent the whole pregame making Coach Bowsman's pulled pork barbecue for tomorrow's regional.
Yeah, how about that? They just can't catch a break. Anyway, they've stopped the clock here, and Special Olympics team members off the floor out there with their jerseys. Kind of got a Crothersville feel. Kind of scares me a little bit.
Well, that's what I thought when they all walked in. I was like, wait a minute, what is going on? How come they're all for Crothersville? But I think I remember seeing the pictures on Facebook that that's the uniform.
So we're gonna.
Could have been black and gold.
Coach.
So we're good with the red and black.
Turning the stomach again. You know, it's been a rough enough night. Let's not add fuel to that fire. I've already got Montana fired up for being
with
here.
Your first chuck-a-duck. I thought you were just going to quit with one. I thought it rolled right in there.
Well, and then I knocked somebody's out of the way. Thought I was sitting pretty, and then I had one that was knocked out that I thought was in good shape. Man. So an apology here to Rosemary Huff, because Rosemary's name was the one that was actually on the ticket with my name. She had signed me up for that, so I'm not going to pay her the $350 she should have won tonight, but I'll just let her sign me up again, maybe for another home game, and we'll maybe give her another whirl.
Coach Bowsman said there's 2 left, I think, 2 or 3.
Yeah. So still some opportunities for the first Harrison hoop shoot. Of course, Tim Woods won it when it was around 5 or 550.
550 is what they said.
Somewhere like that, so it's already built back up to 350. So chance for it to possibly be done one more time with a few more home games left. And now they're announcing some of the young girls that play in the fall and winter league here for Lady Senator basketball. So a lot of people being recognized tonight. Cheerleaders taking a photo op with the Special Olympics group here tonight as well. So
a lot of groups getting announced tonight, and then I think next week is actually homecoming, if I'm not mistaken.
Henryville in town, and so when the Hornets come to town, that'll mean homecoming 2018 for Senator basketball. While they still got the clock stopped, both teams still in the locker room on this extended halftime break. Let's finally take a look at some of the individual scoring. First for the Crothersville Tigers with that 26 points. here at the half. Josh Thomas with 2 points at the half. Zane Elliott with 4 on 4 of 6 shooting from the free throw line. Lane Weinhorst with 2 at the half. Alex Van Kutren started but did not score. Dylan Wilson with 4 all in that second quarter of play. We've done a great job on him thus far. And then Noah Hoskins and Logan Brewer play off the bench for Coach Kilgore in that first half. Hoskins chips in 6, including 2 of 2 from the line. Logan Brewer, 8 points, including 2 of 2 from the line as well. So 26 points total on the board. They were 8 of 10 from the line in the first half of play for 80% and committed 8 turnovers in that first 16 minutes of action. Meanwhile, for West Washington, pretty balanced effort so far. Everybody but 2 have scored. Abel started, did not score. Mikey Nichols come off the bench, played sparingly. He did not score either, as Holden Bousman has 2 on that little floater as time expired at the end of the half. Parker Green with 4. Harrison Sanford with 4. Nick Mars with 6. And then off the bench, Jake Strange with 2 on 2 of 2 free throw shooting. Cam Zink with 3 points off the bench right out of the gate with that big three-pointer from the left wing. Again, Nichols scoreless. Gavin Smith chipping in 4 on 2 of 4 free throw shooting and a field goal from 2-point range in the second quarter. Senators with 25 points total on the board. 5 turnovers in the half. 4 of those 5 coming in the second quarter of play, and they were 4 of 6 from the free throw line for 67%. And that brings us to our 26-25 halftime score. We'll step aside, get a word in from another sponsor or so, and we'll come back as we continue on with more halftime festivities here. Now introducing some of our boys from the Winter League play as well in the 3rd, 4th, 5th grade area. So we'll step aside, get a word in from a sponsor, and we'll come back and take a look ahead and preview the second half upcoming right after this.
Make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Both teams making their way back out onto the floor now. Under 3 minutes to go. Oh, Clyde Combs and this Kentucky's. I tell you what, it's just not mine. Maybe I should just hand in the headphones and just call it in early night.
No.
It is Grief City as Claude's ripping me back here saying, you know, when he announced that it was a Kentucky fan, of course it'd be a Kentucky half-court shot. Then somebody yells out, yeah, that'll be an air ball. I mean, you just can't win for losing around this place, Coach.
We need to work on our positivity around here.
Bad, that's what I'm calling bad energy.
Yeah, that was bad energy.
Bad vibes.
Exactly.
That's not good.
We got to work on that for the second half.
This is also true.
Down one, we got to get back up to our positive ways.
Again, Crothersville 12-4 on the year. Senators searching for win number 8. They set it 7-11. And again, a reminder, fans, if you want some more good girls basketball action, of course, unfortunately, our girls got bounced from the tournament last week on Saturday night. Get out of here.
Montana's giving her trouble.
He's still giving me the choke sign. What is this? All right, time to send that guy back to Salem High School. Hank's probably missing him tonight. Minute and a half to go, but again, unfortunately, our girls get bounced from the tournament last Saturday night in the championship game, and that leads us to Regional 16 action tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. It'll be Vincennes Reveille taking on South Central. Lady Rebels in town to take on the Lady Patriots in a battle of top 10 teams. Of course, Reveille finishes the regular season at number 2 in Class 1A. And then your noon game Semifinal number 2 in Regional 16 will feature the Trinity Lutheran Lady Cougars, as they will have an interesting matchup with Andy Chin's Lady Jeeps at Du Bois.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Du Bois, but I mean, obviously they've had a really good program for a long time. So, but I tell you, with the size that Lutherans have, they're going to give those other teams some trouble. So and some really good teams in this regional. So yeah, if you want to see some good b-ball tomorrow, come on out, because you're going to see some nice teams.
I believe the doors open at 8:30, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it's 9.
Might be 9.
8:30, 9 o'clock.
I thought he said
we can
9.
double check with Philip
doors
here in just
open
a
at
moment.
9. Hey, oh, sorry.
That's all right. As we're about ready to get the second half underway, it'll be Senator basketball out of the halftime break, as they will get things started. Down 1 at 26-25 after a wild, wacky, and very, very busy halftime. Brought to you by Eddie Gilstrap Motors, just south of the square in Salem. And they'll clear out. Parker picked up by Wilson in the half court as we get second half underway. Back to the original 5 that we'd had for several games. Zink instead of Abels to start the half, with Green and Bausman in the backcourt, Harrison and Nick up front. Over a half minute already gone by in the quarter. Senators very patient on their first possession as Nick controls it left side, sends it in the corner to Green. He switched off, blows right past Wilson. Little floater in the lane will go. And Parker's got 6 now on the night. Coach,
yeah,
those half times wearing me out.
Yeah, Wilson got switched off onto Parker, and as soon as Parker saw that, he took him on the drive.
Turnover for Crothersville over and back as it went off of Winehurst's hands. What did Phillips say about the doors?
It's 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Doors open at 9 o'clock. But yeah, that actually happened earlier in the possession, that Parker got Wilson switched off on him, and they just didn't get him the ball. Coach Smith was saying, swing it, swing it, swing it. But fortunately, it worked the second time.
1 tie, 3 lead changes in that first half of play. Dribble handoff. Zink's 3 off the mark, no good. Harrison there to fight for the rebound, but it's Thomas who comes out with it quickly. The sophomore gets in the front court, leaves it for Whitehurst. Now back out to Elliott, to Wilson. 6'5" big man controlling the perimeter right now. He'll slide back down to the mid-post area. Minute and a half gone by in the period. They'll try to lob it down low. Parker there to tip it away against Brewer for a moment. Forces the miss. Parker controls the rebound. And back we come to the other end. Senators moving on your 1220 AM dial in this second half from right to left. To Holden, to Zink. Back out top. Didn't want to take the 3 this time. Instead they go to Mars, and now back out to Zink again as Hoskins will check in already here in the third quarter on the next dead ball for Crothersville. 2 minutes gone by, third quarter. Holden, little runner against Wilson off the glass will go. Able to release before the big man can get there, and Holden, little bookend baskets here, one at the end of the half, one here near the start of the third quarter of play, makes it now 29-26, 3-point advantage for West Washington. Thomas with the drive against Zink. They force the kick out. Winehurst with it. He gets into the paint, has it blocked from behind by Harrison, and Holden will lead the break. Has it poked away from behind. No, turnover number 6, and to the other end, it's a 2-on-1, and Brewer will score easily, getting into double figures now, making it 29-28. Senator lead cut to 1. And Mars with it right side. Off to Holden. He'll work against Wilson again. Holden goes up and under. Couldn't get it to go against Wilson, and then it's going to be Harrison reaching over the top of Elliott, picking up his first foul of the night.
Yeah,
team foul number 1 of the half.
I know we're wanting to go right at Wilson and get him into foul trouble, but that was probably a little bit of a force by Holden. But somebody's got to talk to you when you're coming down the floor. If somebody's coming up behind, I mean, that's changed a little bit of momentum. We got a block and a run out, but nobody talked. They got the turnover right back and scored.
Hoskins comes in. Winehurst checks out as Thomas has it. Kicks out to Wilson. He'll try to lob it into Brewer, and it's stolen away by Holden. Turnover number 7 of the night. Or excuse me, turnover number 10 of the night. Can't read my own writing. For the Tigers, 4:50 and counting, third quarter. Senators operating with a 29-28 lead.
Little bucket here, get a little bit of a breathing area for us. Seems like it's been nip and tuck the entire time. Not that 3 points is a big lead, but it's a little bit of breathing room.
Pass and shuffle away on the replace. Just replacing out top. It's a straight pass to the wing, down the paint for a cut. Replace to the corner. opposite of the ball, and it'll be a dribble drive take into the paint. Crothersville
Elliott,
foul.
I think.
And this one
Fouls on 42, Noah Hoskins, his third, team first. On the line will be number
Hoskins,
12,
his third.
Parker Green, 2 shots.
Team foul number 1 again of the half for Crothersville. 4:27 to go, and Parker Green to the free throw line. It'll be Parker's first attempt of the night as he cashes in. Give him now 7 in the ball game. Parker, a 68% shooter on the year, 17 of 25 entering tonight, making now 19 of 27 as he knocks them both down, makes it 31-28.
There's a little bit of a cushion. Now we got to play a little D. Oh boy.
And a nice
we
blow
got
by
fortunate there.
as Thomas worked against Zink, went right past him, zipped it to the basket, missed the layup. Dangerous kick out from Harrison to Zink. Holden will try to feed wing, does to Green. He'll dribble drive, take it strong off the glass. Avoids Wilson. And Parker was 6 already in the quarter. He only had 4 in the first half, so into double figures. And it's 33-28.
Again, keep working defensively.
Another basket after a stop, and we'll have our largest lead of the night. Again, they led by 6 early on at 11-5. 3:40 and counting in this third quarter of play. Brewer has it, stops, pops, top of the paint. 16-foot jumper straight away, would not go. Rebound pulled down by the Senators, and we're back to the offensive end. Again, a basket will give us our largest lead of the evening, and Mars will try to do it. Deep shot, right corner, would not go. And it's Harrison reaching in on Thomas. Holden will rush to help him up. And it actually will be Holden to reach from behind. So Holden picks up his second personal of the evening. And it'll bring in Gavin Smith for Nick Mars to give him a breather.
We could have got that shot anytime we wanted. That was a force by Nick. I mean, he just basically they were daring him to shoot, and he fell into that trap.
Stoppage of play right in front of the scorer's bench as Greg Barton wanted someone to wipe up some sweat where Thomas and Sanford had both landed right in front of the scorer's bench. They try to feed down low to Thomas. Nice feed underneath from Elliott, and Thomas able to finish around the rim. That's just his second basket, though, of the night. Wilson's only got 4 as well, so we've done a nice job on their inside-out duo. It's been the other guys that's hurt us, especially off the bench.
Yeah, we got to make sure we find Hoskins, but he has 3 fouls, so that's a good thing for us.
And now working in the high paint area, Smith had to kick out to Holden to Zink, right back to Gavin Smith. This time he'll go off the dribble drive and connect off glass for 2 more. Gavin Smith with 6, and it's 35-30.
Like we said, Gavin's doing a nice job offensively off the bench, and that's one thing you talked about over the last couple of weeks is getting some bench production.
Ugly looking 3 for Thomas, will not go. And Wilson tipped that out of bounds. Jeff Jackson whistled it should stay with Crothersville, and now he'll confer with Gerald Scott, and now they'll change it. And Coach Kilgore not happy with the change of mind by Jeff Jackson, but it was definitely the right call. Last touch by Wilson. 2:15 and counting third quarter. Senators will face a little 2-2-1 pressure this time. And they'll get it safely into the front court as Zink takes it back from Sanford. Rolling up on the 2-minute warning here, third quarter. 5-point advantage at 35-30.
Yeah, be patient.
Holden, step back, Jay, 17-footer. Cold as ice in the veins as the blood pumping, adrenaline flying, and rises over the big guy with a step back. 17-foot Jay. Holden's got 6 on the night. And it's 37-30, largest lead of the evening for West Washington. Full timeout for Coach Kilgore and the Tigers. We'll step aside and take one as well, and we'll come back with more right after this.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Senators out of the timeout by Crothersville. Minute 51 to go, third quarter. Senators enjoying their largest cushion of the night at 7, 37-30. As the Senators will roll with Green, Sanford, Smith, Bousman, and Zink out of the timeout.
You know, one thing, as soon as I say this, I'm going to jinx this, but we haven't allowed an offensive rebound yet. So we're doing a good job on those big guys underneath.
Oh, Coach. Thomas with
oh, how does that always happen? But luckily, he dribbled it out of bounds. How? Somebody explain. That is just weird how when you say something that happens.
Coach Gibson never say anything like that.
Offensive board, but a turnover. So.
Oh, Wilson grabbed it and lost it out of bounds, dribbled it off the baseline. Turnover number 11 as Coach doing his best to put the hex.
I did not understand that at all.
Wow. Holden dribble drive, got into the paint again. Runner won't go. More of a rotor is more of a running floater.
I really thought he was going to dump that off, but nice.
And surprisingly enough, folks, this will be Holden's 22nd and 23rd free throw attempts of the year. You'd think he might have more.
19th game, so that's, yeah, he
doesn't get there often, but he makes the most of this.
That's what I was just saying. I was expecting him to dump it off. A lot of times when he gets into the lane, he's looking for a diver to dump it off.
Wilson picks up his second personal team foul, number 2 of the half. Senators have committed 2 as well. Holden hit the first free throw, second one up, smooth as silk. So again, a little ice water in the veins for Holden here toward the end of the third quarter as the Senators balloon the lead to 9, enjoying their largest cushion of the night. Just over a minute minute left rather in the third. And Thomas blows a wide open layup off of a beautiful move to the basket right side. Holden in trouble out front, lays it off to Zink. They missed Harrison wide open. He was totally left alone on the block as they come out to extend pressure. Green has it, now off to Bousman, sends it cross court to Zink. Wasn't ready to step into a 3, so we'll continue to run some clock until Zink has it poked away from behind. Turnover number 7, and quickly to the other end. Brewer tries to scoop off glass, it won't go. And Holden yet again on the defensive boards, this time forcing a tie-up with Thomas. Alternating possession to the Tigers with 30.2. And Weinhorst trying to come off of a little back cut. They split the little 3-man stack on the ball side, and it forces a full timeout by Coach Kilgore. It's a full timeout. He's got 2:30s left in his pocket with 30.2 to go in the third. Senators enjoying their largest lead of the night at 39-30. And fans that might be watching and listening at home instead of watching the Indiana team, up 39-29 at last check, courtesy of an update from Kelly Williams. That was at the half, so
up 10.
It's just not my night, Coach. And with that said, we're going to go to a commercial
That's a
break.
lot of time for the Hoosiers. That's a lot of time.
A lot of time left here, too. Again, a half minute to go in the third. Senators up 9, be back right after this.
Channel Seamanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel Seaman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Out of a timeout by Coach Kilgore. Drew up a nice out-of-bounds set, and Parker picks up the personal. This called on the floor, though, so third personal whistle against the Senators of the half, so they have to reset it underneath, and they turn it over. So second time, not a charm, out of bounds for the Tigers. They'll push into the front court, will the Senators. 15 seconds to go as Holden will slow it up, give it off to Zink, and he's bumped out front by Brewer. This will be his second, team foul number 3. And so the Senators will reset right in front of us. Coach Smith getting some backseat driving and help from his 2 assistants, Sullivan and Myers, with 10.4 on the clock. And they'll lob it, or try to lob it in to Gavin Smith. He can't get it. Holden then has it stripped away with 5 seconds to go, and then Holden will pick up the personal. And for Holden, that's going to be his third. Turnover number 8, team foul number 4.
I was just getting ready to say, with 10 seconds to go.
Boy, I'm glad you didn't.
Out of bounds. That's the third time we've turned it over on the out of bounds play. I was saying,
see, it doesn't always have to be a commentator's jinx, as Crothersville turns it over right at the end of the period, so they don't get anything out of it. As we roll into the fourth period of play, Senators leading at 39-30. Paoli also up in the third quarter over the Orleans Bulldogs. Up 6 now instead in the third quarter in a key PLAC showdown. We'll come back with fourth quarter action right after this word from one of our sponsors.
This is Kelly, and this is my Walmart. This is Kate, and this is my Walmart.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
Out of the quarter break, Senators will have it to open up play here in the fourth quarter. Abels, Zink, Sanford, Mars, and Green. Holden setting with those 3 personals on the bench. Nice, quick dribble, quick hands. That's some of the quickest feet we've seen from the freshman Parker Green. Behind the back, through the legs, showing it all off the spin dribble baseline. And that'll be team foul number 4 against Crothersville, and Weinhorst picks up his first. Kick out to Abels, 3, couldn't get it to go. Rebound fought for, and Harrison almost come up with it. Elliott leads a 3-on-2, leads it off for Brewer, and Brewer now has 12 as he makes it 39-32. Senators giving up just 4 points in that third quarter of play. Zink now into the front court, works against Hoskins. Little run and jump as they'll try to pick up pressure. We miss Harrison wide open again.
Just a little
Get
too
it
late.
to him. He works one-on-one, spins out to Abels, now to Zink, and we'll slow things up as we'll try to chew some clock on this possession. Zink in trouble, back to Abels. See how long Holden sets with those 3 personals. Nearly a minute gone by as the Senators turn it over. That's their 4th of the half, 9th of the game. And quickly back to Brewer. Nice little give and go. He blows the layup. Coach Kilgore can't believe it. And now Sanford on a leak out will slow it up as he didn't have numbers. Leaves it off to a cutting Nick Mars. He's fouled on his way to the hoop. Took a little shot across the bridge of the nose perhaps. Maybe got by with one. And this one will go on Josh Thomas. That's his 3rd. Team foul number 5, and this guy from Crothersville is tearing me up. He's wearing me
He came
out.
in with Wilson. So that must be
40-32. First free throw up and good for Mars. His first free throw attempts of the night. He's a 64% free throw shooter. Second one on the way, good as well. So Nick now has 8 on the night. First points of the half, and it's 41-32.
Again, if we're going to maintain this lead, oh, he double dribbled. It's going to be down here. It's going to be on the defensive end. And right there at the free throw line where we came in just under 60%. We've got to knock down free throws down the stretch.
Came in 158 of 264 for 59.5%, I believe, was what the total was. Rounded it up to a nice even 60%. Coach Smith will have to burn a timeout. He's got 2 fulls and a 30.
He's trying to hold on to, holding on the bench with those 3 fouls as long as he can.
Trying to beg, borrow, and steal some minutes
Holden
here.
is so aggressive, and it's got him into trouble a couple times. Perry and Board, Paoli a little bit. He's so aggressive with his hands looking for those steals, and he's got 3 steals tonight, but he can also pick up those silly hand check or, those hand fouls too. So he's trying to hold it.
41-32, 30-second timeout for the Senators. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Senators on WSLM.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Coach, all I could say is sometimes I'm extremely thankful to have these headsets on during the course of a ball game because, again, this dude is wearing me out. Minute and a half gone by. Abels loses it in a double team. 10th turnover of the game, 5th of the half. And here comes Holden off the bench to try to take control. Abels had played so well the last couple of outings, but tonight struggling a little bit out front against the pressure.
Sometimes he likes to cross people over, but when
it's
the guys...
okay to do that one-on-one.
Yes, but when you can't do it in between people.
Sure. So this will be team foul number 5 of the half as Weinhurst goes back to the free throw line for Crothersville. This is their first free throw attempts, Coach, of the half. They were 8 of 10 in the first half. He missed the first on the year. Weinhurst, a 63% free throw shooter. Second one is up, ain't good. Give him 3 on the night. It's 41-33. That last foul on Cam Zink, his first of the night. Again, team foul 5. Mars gets it to Green, across the floor. They're racing into the front court, and then he'll have his pass batted away. And to the other end, Holden with a near poke away, and he's going to pick up his 4th. Ooh. Unless they get Parker, I doubt it. Parker was there. They're going to get Holden for his 4th. And that's going to bring Abels back in. Still 6:13 to go, so Holden will set.
But that foul was caused by a bad pass right here.
It was.
I mean, that at just over the center line.
It's a little stack on the ball side.
Got to do better job.
Crothersville gets it in. Mars with the block shot as Thomas tried to take across the way. Couldn't get it to go. 41-33. Senators still up by 8, and Abels this time with a careless pass. Senators have the wheels coming off. Good thing they've got a cushion. And to the other end, Elliott misses a layup, and rebound comes off to Mars. He'll leave it off for Green. Now to Zink, into Abels. Abels 2-on-1 break to Sanford cross court. Sanford,
how is that not a foul?
He bobbles it, and finally, Coach Smith going to pop a vein in the neck. Foul's going to go against Josh Thomas, and that's big because that's also his 4th, one of the team's leading scorers. So 6 personals apiece for each ball club. They come down to free throws and critical possessions down the stretch. Alex Van Hootren comes back into the ball game.
Sometimes. I mean, I thought we've done a nice job all game long with our turnovers. There are a couple here or there, but boy, as soon as they put that press on, we're panicking.
Zink gets it off the inbounds play. 2.5 gone by here in the period. Zink, careless pass cross court to Abels. 5th straight turnover here in the quarter. And an and 1 at the other end. So salt in the wound for Coach Smith's crew. As Brewer is going to get an and 1 opportunity. Brewer off the bench with 14. Looking for number 15, which is his season average. 41-35. Again, Brewer looking for point number 15 on the night. coming in off the bench instead of starting as normal. And he gets it. He's 3 of 3 from the charity stripe, so not a guy you want to foul down the stretch if it comes to that. 41-36. Abels gets it to Mars, who picks it up now in the front court. He'll be trapped in front of Coach Smith, and then he turns it over. 9 turnovers in the half. To the other end, layup missed. Would not go for Van Kutren. And to the other end, 2-on-2 break, and Mars will throw it back out to Green. Now to Zink, underneath to Harrison. And Clayton now talking to Holden with those 4 personals before they send him back in. And the message, I'm assuming, and underneath a foul as Harrison gets knocked to the floor. And this one's going to go on Van Kutren, his first. Team foul number 7, so Senators in the bonus for the final 4:54. And I think Coach Sullivan off the bench to argue the fact that, you know what, we need Holden in the ball game. He got up to talk to Coach Smith for a minute. Now Coach Myers will confer with him as Sanford misses his first free throw attempt of the night. A 56% shooter, 22 of 39 on the year.
So I was just getting ready to say, this is struggle bus time for the Senators and free throws in the 4th quarter.
And that one ugly and long too, but Parker with an offensive rebound back up and in. And Parker 8 points in the half, 12 in the ball game.
We haven't been able to set up our defense in 2 minutes because of all the turnovers.
43-36, 7-point advantage as we roll up on 4.5 minutes to play here in regulation. And underneath, it's going to be a travel. Weinhurst trying to go a little Euro step, took an extra one. Turnover number 7 as Crothersville fans show their displeasure and tell these officials just how terrible they are in their opinion. And it's going to be a travel. I don't know, Coach. 4:31. I think at some point you just got to roll the dice and trust that Holden's going to be smart enough not to pick up that 5th personal. Going to have to get him back in soon. Weinhorst with it. Cashes in from 3. 6 points on the night for him. 43-39. The Senators nearly turn it over again. Showing their weakness against the trap and the press. Senators nearly turn it over again. Harrison gets it into the front court. Going to kick out to Zeke. And he'll bring it out of trouble now to Green. They look like the bad news Bears right now.
We've gotten real passive. All we're worried about is not turning it over instead of running offense.
Now the foul's going to go on Brewer. That's his 3rd. Team foul number 8, which will put the Senators at the line. But, Coach, here's the deal. Our inability to play with composure has fed and fueled the fire for Crothersville because this is the exact style of game they love playing.
Yeah.
Thomas, he's going to roll the dice. Coach Gilmore is going to put the sophomore in with 4 personals. Van Kutren will come out. 4:01 to play. Zink to the free throw line. And first one, he cashes in, so he'll get one more. He's got 4 on the night. Hadn't scored since that 3-pointer off the bench early. And holding him with the 4 personals now for the final 4:01. And Zink for his 2nd free throw. It is up and it is long, and the rebound controlled by Brewer. So make it 44-39, under 4 to play. 5-point advantage for the Senators. Out front, Weinhurst hit the 3 earlier, kicks out to Hoskins, and right back to Elliott, top of the key. Elliott, dribble drive, spins in the paint against Holden. They kick out, Weinhurst, another 3. This one will not go. Rebound fought for, and Brewer beats Green to the punch. And Brewer now with 17, and then a turnover, and off the steal, a basket of Weinhurst. He's got 6 all in this quarter. Or excuse me, 6 in this quarter rather. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, it's 44-43, down to a 1-point lead. Full timeout for Coach Smith with 3:29 to go. So we'll step aside, take a break, come back with more exciting 4th quarter action right after this word from one of our sponsors.
Channel seamanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Senators to try to break pressure. Back-to-back baskets. Last one coming off of a turnover, and the Senators nearly turn it over again. Holden gets it bumped at midcourt. 3:24 to go, and Coach Smith's going to need an aspirin after this one. May end up with a migraine before this one's over.
Yeah, it was just telegraphing passes. That's all. I mean, they have 7 steals in this quarter alone.
Holden to the free throw line. That one rims in and out, no good. So Crothersville with a chance to take their first lead since it was 20-19 back in the second quarter. Senators had led once they took the lead back right after that juncture. And Brewer on the dribble drive. We're going to have a whistle and a foul. Jeff Jackson with the call.
I mean, this is, like I said, we got way too passive. It's an effort problem. They are outworking us. They want this a little more than us, and they're just outperforming. We are not playing well.
Senators pick up their 8th team foul.
Our free throw woes are definitely coming back to haunt us. We're 3 of 7.
And Brewer's going to cash in. He's now 4 of 4 on the night. That's 18 for Brewer off the bench. Again, normally a starter, and the junior averages 15 a game. Second free throw on the way. That one rattles home. So give him 19 on the night, and they have their first lead at 45
now you got to play some offense
of the second half. Underneath, Zink answers right back with his first field goal of the half. 46-45. Sixth lead change of the night.
Now we're back into where we have to run some offense instead of just messing around.
Underneath, though, Brewer misses the layup. Big, strong rebound on the defensive glass by Nick Mars. And that'll be a foul on Brewer, his 14th foul, number 10.
On the line for 2 shots will be 34.
And again, Nick will walk to the other end. We're on the night. He shot 2. I'll wait till after the first one to tell you how well he's fared.
3 of 7 in the fourth quarter. So
first free throw is up and rattles home. He's now shot 3, hit 3, looking for one more. 47-45, back to a 2-point advantage. Nick will try to stretch it to 3. Free throw is up and good. Senior coming through with big free throws here down the stretch. 2:38 and counting as we near the 2-minute warning. 3-point advantage for the Senators. Holden works it defensively against Elliott, forces the give up to Brewer, now to Hoskins, back out to Thomas. And Thomas with it right side, goes into the paint, works against Holden. Good job of walling up. No silly fouls here. But Parker getting beat off the dribble again. Brewer scores, and now he's got 21 on the night. 48-47. Sanford goes back to Green. About to throw it ahead, and Holden gets undercut, and we'll have a foul. Again, bringing Papa Bear Bousman up off of his seat. 2 minutes even, stopped on the clock. And Holden undercut on the catch attempt. And Thomas is going to pick up his 5th personal. Here's what I'm going to say, Coach. These guys are losing their mind. That was a blatant foul. I mean, you can't undercut a guy going for it. And now these guys know how we feel all the years we went to Crothersville and had to play in a rough environment. This is why people should have to pass an IQ test for sports before they can attend a ball game. You know what I mean? You just can't, you can't gripe and complain about very obvious, blatant fouls whenever they're right in front of everybody. Holden back to the free throw line. First one is up and good. Now 3 of 4
like I
on
said,
the night.
sometimes that happens when you have a lot of success. Everybody, you automatically think you're John Wooden's UCLA Bruins. You can do no wrong.
Holden knocks it.
Like you said, there's been many times we've gone down there. It's iffy. But he just tackled Holden on that one.
Coach, you said that so nicely.
Iffy?
Yeah. Minute 45 and counting. Brewer trying to back down against Harrison. And Harrison get called for the little nickel dimer at the other end on the bump. Jeff Jackson may be just trying to calm this Crothersville
they're trying to calm things down. They're going to call things ticky-tack now because they're tired of hearing both sides yell. But instead of just saying, no, I didn't do it, no, I didn't do it, I mean, just deal with it.
Harrison picks up his second personal, team foul number 9. Free throw was missed by Brewer, his first free throw miss of the night. Number 5, Matt Wilburn, a 5'7" senior, into the ballgame for his first minutes of the night for Crothersville. Senators
just dribble the ball.
Zink has it, nearly poked away, and he gives it to Harrison, and Harrison will be fouled in the corner, minute 27 to go. Coach Kilgore must be pretty confident in making this a free throw-a-thon.
Number 12, Dane Allen, that's his first. On the line for 2 shots will be number 24.
Check that, they're going
to talk to somebody.
They're going to get Elliott with the personal, his second. Team foul number 11 on Crothersville. And Harrison still on the struggle bus from the stripe. As you heard Coach say, 0 for 3 on the night, looking for his first make, and finally gets one to go down. 51-47. Minute 27 to go. Elliott will pick it up at the stripe, start the clock. Minute 23 and counting. They try to dribble handoff. Nice denial out front. Elliott with it. He'll be trapped for a moment out front. Brewer tried to cross over.
Why are we arguing? You tripped him. I mean, that's a foul.
It's as blatant as the undercut on the other end.
Yeah, exactly. It's a foul.
Our guys don't know how to control sometimes their body language.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, body language for a couple of guys on this team, it's affected their play.
And Brewer makes up for the earlier miss again. That was his first miss of the game. 51-48. Second one on the way. Good. Makes it 51-49. 75 seconds to play in regulation. Senators hanging on to a 2-point lead. Harrison to Nick. 2-on-1 break to Holden, and Holden will wisely bring it back out to Zink, and now to Holden. They'll make it come out and chase here with 63 seconds and counting. And Holden will work the dribble against Winehurst to Mars. Mars jersey in the mouth. A little nervous time for him as well as Zink gives it off to Mars. They say kick it back out. As Coach keeps pointing back to the other end, there's no need to rush it. Holden dribbles through traffic and he'll be fouled. You can tell Holden kind of tasting it, kind of wanting it, feeling it right now. Playing through those 4 personal fouls. 44.2 on the clock. And it will be the 3rd personal of the night for Lane Winehurst. Team foul number 12, and Holden to the free throw line. First one is up and long. We just cannot buy one when we need one. This will be Holden's 7th attempt of the night. 4 of 6, making 5 of 7 now. 52-49, 1 possession ball game, and Holden will step into the backcourt and force Elliott to pick it up so he can't let it roll all the way to the half-court stripe. Wilburn with it, back out to Elliott. Coming up on a half-minute to play. Brewer getting into the paint. Leaves it off to Hoskins, now to Elliott. He'll try to drive, spin, he'll kick. Corner, Wilburn, 3, off the mark, no good, and Parker will be fouled on the strong rebound effort with 23.1. And hopefully Parker can walk to the other end, and if Park knocks both of these down, give the Senators some much-needed breathing room in a one-possession ball game. Need at least one of them here, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like I was going to say, fourth quarter, they've sped us up, we've turned the ball over, and it's hurting us on the line, too, because we're kind of getting a little bit frustrated.
Winehurst picks up his fourth. Parker just about airballed that one. Left it well short, barely grazed the front iron on the eyelet, and he'll get one more.
A lot of times players miss the second one long.
And that one rims in and out, so Parker can't get either one to go. 20 seconds to play. Off to Winehurst. He's already knocked down one from outside. Back to Elliott, dribble handoff. They leave underneath to Hoskins, and he's able to finish. Hoskins with 8 makes the plot thicken even more. 52-51, 10.7 on the clock. A full timeout for the Tigers and Coach Kilgore. Never mind. I thought my count was right that he'd used all of his fulls. It has to be a 30, and that is true. So let's quickly step aside. 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Senators take on the Crothersville Tigers on your home for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM, home of the Hoosiers and the Colts, as well as the Boilermakers.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
So on the game reset, 10.7 to play, 52-51. Senators with a 1-point lead. They've got the baseline off the make from Hoskins. Nice feed from Elliott on the previous possession. They'll screen, look to break a guy long, and they get it into the senior Zink, and he'll be fouled immediately across the way. This will be team foul number 14 on the Tigers. And this will go on Matt Wilburn, and that is his first foul of the night. Both teams in the double bonus have been for a while. Harrison will check in, and Zink to the free throw line on the year. The senior 13 of 25 for just 52%. First one's up and good.
That was a big one. Oh, if he could hit this, that puts a lot of pressure on him. Gives us a 3-point lead, 9.8 seconds to go.
Zink out there with Green, Bausman, Harrison, and Mars. And both of them good. The senior clutch, 3 of 4 in the quarter. 54-51. Buckle the seatbelts. Can they hold on with the defensive stop? Winehurst with it. Out to Brewer. Step back 3. Hasn't. Harrison. Sanford with the huge block as time expires. Defensive play of the game for sure. Going to Sanford. It was Brewer with the step back move, and Harrison with those outstretched arms, those long arms, able to block it. And Crothersville will hop on the bus and take the long ride back to the Ville, suffering just their 5th loss of the year. Senators get it done against a possible opponent in the sectional 62 field at Edinburgh at the end of the month. 54-51 is your final. We'll step aside, take a break here from some sponsors, and we will come back to begin our post-game show activities from the Ron Smith Court. Senators victorious on their home floor here in the friendly confines this evening. We'll be back with our post-game brought to you by Ace Hardware of Salem right after this.
Police, I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy, and he knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel seamanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
Back here to the friendly confines to begin our Ace Hardware of Salem post-game wrap-up. Senators victorious on their home floor tonight, moving now to 8-11 on the year and handing Crothersville just their 5th loss of the season, dropping them now to 12-5 overall. Senators tonight trying to get it done and close things out at the free throw line. Coach alone in the 4th quarter, 11 of 17. Were the Senators from the free throw line. They were just 4 of 6 combined through the first 2 quarters of play from the stripe. 4 for 4 in that 3rd quarter, but again getting a bulk of the work done from the charity stripe in a 15-point 4th quarter where they got outscored actually 21-15. But Senators hang on here tonight, get a much-needed win to get the split on the week before another Tuesday-Friday week of basketball, which we'll have more for you in just a moment on those 2 ball games next week, including homecoming on Friday night. But the Senators, a great balanced effort, and usually when the Senators have pretty good balance and 2 or 3 guys in double figures, that usually bodes well for them, and of course it did tonight as they get 3